Hey, what a special episode, and it's a vibe. Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast is celebrating with you guys, my loyal listeners, the 100th episode, 100 full episodes. Can you believe that? I am so excited to be here. We're going to kick off this episode not only with some audio from amazing, dope former guests and dear friends of this pod, and yours truly, Misty, but before we do that, a sweet little review and commentary by also former guest Lisa Marie, a dear friend. And the message says, super proud of you and what you have accomplished in the last 2 years. You've been such an inspiration and helped me tons along my journey. I appreciate your willingness to help when I was recording. Your show has opened up so many conversations and dialogues. The rawness, the honesty, the realness. Love it. Mwah. Love you, Lisa. Thank you so much. And here is some audio before we hit it off with a dope conversation and 2 dope fellow podcasters, y'all. Ew.
Hey.
It's Court.
And Rima.
And if you don't know, this is RCC.
Red Cup Confidential Hope.
And we're just shouting out our good sis, our sister, Miss D, Double Dose of Raw Talk, for making it to 100 episodes.
Yes. That is not an easy feat.
At all.
And we commend you so much.
And no shade, the girls not making it, baby.
They're not making it.
Dropping like flies.
All around.
Hello? What's going on? But 100 episodes is definitely not something easy to come by. Thank you for also having us a part of your journey. I believe 2 episodes each. So that's giving 4.
And she also graced her presence on our show, RCC, which you got to come back.
You have to, because Miss D is a vibe.
Yes.
She's always giving a double dose of raw talk. She is your favorite host, Miss D.
Your favorite host. Baby. And she gives great hugs.
D does give great hugs. Oh my God.
But you wouldn't know because it's not titty to titty, but me and sis, we got to connect.
Yeah, I don't have titties. I can't.
Titty to titty, Miss D, and you already know.
I can't do titty to titty with Miss D. But we love Double Dose of Raw Talk. We've been on this show, like I said, 2 times. No, it's giving 4 as a duo.
And we have to go back on together.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
D, we love you. Shout out to you for just making it to 100 episodes and also always being you, being raw, being honest, being true to your brand.
Authentic.
Yes, every single time, and being consistent with your content, because we know this podcast shit is not easy. So congrats to you.
Yes.
The show means so much to a lot of people who enjoy the show. Shout out to your merch store. If you guys haven't got your merch, go to I don't know the website, but she will link it.
Yeah,
because I've been drinking. It's on brand. We're drunk.
But listen, congratulations to you.
Yes.
And cheers to 100 fucking more.
Oh, you got drink in your cup?
I do. Of course.
very good.
I keeps a drink. Miss
Sorry.
D, once you listen to this episode, put your cup up. Court, you got your cup? You ready?
Yeah.
Yes. So cheers,
Hey.
clink, clink.
Salud.
Congratulations to Miss D for 100 episodes and to 100 episodes more. We love you.
Peace.
Clink, clink. Salute, RCC Pod. Thank you so much for the love and the support and the collaborations, because we are the shit. And not for nothing, they're so right. It's not easy to make it to this milestone, but we are here. And to continue showing your support, not only should you go check them out, but then also check out the www.doubledoseofrawtalk.store and get your merch. Thank you so much, RCC Pod, for the love. Y'all definitely had a bitch here tearing up, titties and all. But thank you and cheers, and I love you guys.
So I would like to give a big shout out to a very special individual.
Woman.
Double dose of raw talk.
You just why'd you put that space and then go into like
Miss.
that's weird.
Miss, might I say, who we adore, who we appreciate.
Why are you ignoring me?
Miss Daisy Cow.
Daisy, we love you. And we're sorry that this is...
AKA Double D.
I hope you're referring to
Double
her.
dose of raw talk.
Yeah, and not those jugs she got.
Angel, you see your mind be going all the way to the gut.
Daisy, we love you. We think you're phenomenal. We love and appreciate everything that you do for us. You are a beautiful,
We
beautiful
rock
person.
with you, man. We rock with you. We need some more scripts, too.
Right. So Daisy, thank you for all that you give to the Mermaid and the Lion. Thank you for being the beautiful person that you are. We wish you many more blessings to 1,000 episodes.
That's a huge milestone to hit 100 episodes. I don't think people understand.
It is hard. People give up, fall by the wayside, and you never quit. Your tenacity, your resilience, your all of that.
Somebody once told me, if you're in this business long enough, you will see the bodies of your enemies floating by. And Daisy, I know you done seen some bodies. Keep on gunning, and we got your back.
And we love you.
Yes, Angel and Gaza, my favorite love story of all time, The Mermaid and the Lion audio drama podcast. Y'all, the opportunities they've given me, 100 episodes in, you would never think I do such a thing, but they have given me opportunities beyond my heart. Thank you guys. I love you so much. The love is real, the support is real, and forever family. And watch out now, stay tuned. Your girl might make it out to their hometown. Ew. Love you guys. Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast, your weekly dose of many discussions and opinions, a show where we get comfortable being uncomfortable. And remember, no topic is off limits. Now let's talk about it.
Got it.
All right, do you guys have like water and stuff? Like,
Yes. I just made my kid get
yeah,
me some.
because
So
I've been
like,
talking all day.
I have a gallon, but I'm not gonna be
Right.
drinking a
So
gallon
you guys
on
still make it
camera,
look pretty,
like-
right?
I
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta still, yeah. So I'm still gonna bring this
Yeah.
one over. You know, the gallon is outside the door, but you know. All right, guys. Wow, welcome back to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. Oh my God, I don't know how that even came out just now. That was insane. It was like a little tune.
Cause that's like the 100th energy, like
Yes. We are at the 100th episode today. And let me just say this. I wanted to, like, do I do a solo? No, fuck that. Like, you can't celebrate by yourself. I can't do this by myself. So I'm like, I need strong voices that I can relate to, strong voices that, first of all, if I'm going to bring any voices on this platform to celebrate this, it's going to be voices that I listen to. So let's begin with that.
Yes.
All right. Hello. But it just put me in a space where I need strong voices, and I need voices that I know serve a purpose, because that's one of the main and key components to this platform, right? There's some form of purpose that we serve here. And so today I have amazing guests with me. Y'all just heard two voices. That's right, two, because we are at the 100th episode of Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast, and we're going to celebrate with fellow podcasters.
Yes.
One half is a returning guest. The other half is brand new to the Double Dose of Raw Talk community. So I'm excited to have you both here. I always like introduce my guests, but lately I allow them to do their own intros with their own vibe and their own hustle. So would my guests please introduce themselves?
Oh my goodness, you want to go first? I'm gonna go first.
I'm just brand new. Here with my bestie.
Hi.
I'm Barbie, and I'm a mama 3. And I've been, taking a nice little dip into a lot of uncomfortable things. And this is one of them. So, but I feel it's natural.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So it's exciting.
Yes.
And I'm Virginia, the other half of the MILF Club podcast. What was I gonna say? Like, this has been such a long time coming. Like, even when I was on my other podcast, like, we've been planning this for so long. But yeah, I'm a podcaster. Obviously, I've been doing this for I want to say I don't even know, almost 3 years, I guess.
sure
Yeah,
have.
just about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Took a little break, but I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm so happy to be podcasting again. I truly fucking missed it. I think the last thing I did before, or after I quit my last podcast was yours. And then, that was it, for the longest. So I was just I was happy to dust this off, and I'm happy to be here again.
I'm excited you guys are here. First of all, I'm excited you're back on the mic. And second of all, Barbie, you're doing a fantastic job being all uncomfortable in a space. And I mean, y'all know here we get real uncomfortable all the damn time. So
Yes.
this is why I love this so much, that you guys have agreed to join me on on this week's episode. In celebration of, it's also just a milestones, right? It's the milestone that this means to me and what that milestone means to you guys too, because like you said, I had known this was an idea you had. You shared it with me, Virginia.
Yeah.
And to finally meet Barbie, right? And to finally see, MILF podcast, y'all. Like, I was so
I know. I'm like, finally. Yo, the first time we recorded was February of last year.
For real.
But it was just like, it's so funny because we talk every day 24/7, but it was just like a weird, like, I didn't fuck with this, she didn't fuck with. They were like, nah, we're going to release something good. And then, like, I put so much time and effort into my other podcasts too that, like, it's hard to launch something new when you're still watering something else. Yeah. And I kind of regret that in a weird way because I should have just made time for both things. But everything happens for a reason, right?
It does happen for a reason, including that line right there. Last week's episode, I had Julie Jameson on, and she said something about your water's like gold and the overflow, right? And so for you to say you were watering something, and it just wasn't hitting. It's like it just wasn't. It's crazy because that's really how we should look at our lives, right? We should really look at where are we pouring into? Where is it that we're pouring into? First and foremost, are you pouring into yourself? And second of all,
exactly,
it's okay to pour into others, but what purpose does that still serve you? It doesn't mean like you cannot be just genuinely pouring into people, right? How's that saying? My mom used to say, that your left hand doesn't find out what your right hand did, right? It's like, if you do it because you want to. Cool. But also, it's the intent and it's the purpose, right? I'm not just going to keep pouring into others or into things that are not serving me or not reciprocating to me. And I think essentially when we look at milestones, we are reflecting on how we were able to even get there. And a lot of that takes being able to find a balance in that pouring, that outpour, and how we're receiving too, because people need to pour into us too. You can't be draining me.
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot be draining me. Okay. So I'm happy you guys are here. I'm happy you guys have launched, y'all. Off the bat, you already know everything is included in the show notes. Y'all have to go support this platform and this podcast. I mean, it's my whole heart. Like when I just see a beginning of something and to see it being so successful. And like I said, a pure natural duo right here. I'm so happy you both are together on the mics. And I love the show. So we're going to dive into, y'all got some mamas up in here. So we're going to dive right into
some MILFs.
For sure, definitely MILFs. I don't care who says what, MILFs. All right. So we're going to dive right in. So on Double Dose of Raw Talk, we always open up the show with a raw mess of the week. It used to be a little icebreaker, but I decided to switch it up. And so with Raw Mess of the Week, I actually had something in mind. And my little liner was, we're damned if we make more money and damned if we want a man that makes money, right? And I was going to point a reference to a little clip I saw from a former NFL sir talking about Ciara while she's with Russell Wilson, talking about, she's winning for the money. But I'm going to pump the brakes there, okay? Because I'm sure we're going to dive into that in the other two segments that we have of a little something that we're going to highlight. What I actually realized was going on, and I said, you know what, as MILFs that we are, I kind of want to highlight this a little bit because I want to be fair, and I like to be fair as a woman and as a mother, right? Recently I saw this tweet or whatever it was. Black China was like, I got to sell my cars. They just looked at each other, right? And so my boy Rob and Tiger was like, nah, we pay for this school, right? Hold up. And it kind of became a little comical to me, right? Because, of course, society, social media ran to make all sorts of assumptions, right? Well, she got to get up and work. Well, what you talking about? Just because you pay for the school, like, doesn't mean that's it. There was just so much back and forth that I saw, right? And so as MILFs that we are, right? And as women that we are, right? Our takes on that, because I often, as a regular schmegular woman up in here, I oftentimes have these discussions with fellow single mothers, right? And so I am one that from day one, I believe the way I settle this is in court. It's in black and white. This is what you give, and that's it. We don't ever again have to revisit this. It will allocate, it will increase as New York City standards feel it is, right? Like, like this is what it is, right? And then you have other people, other parents who feel, I'm not going to take them, they give what they give. What is your take on that? Because I'm a firm believer that when it's on paper, it's there and that's clear. But what's your take on this? What's your opinion on this?
I mean, honestly, I don't have anything on paper. I considered it at one point when things were a little like messy, but for the most part, like, I don't know, they've been all right, you know? So, but I feel like if I needed to, I would go that route. But I think it's also because, like, in some cases, I hear, you know, women do it, like, you know, through court or whatever. They don't even get that much because some, you know, depending on the guy's job or whatever, if it's on the book or off the books, legit, not legit, you know? So far I've been like pretty blessed that like if I ask you for something 9 out of 10 times I'll get it, but I know that's not the case for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, and so from personal experience, you've been lucky enough, like we said, 9 out of 10. Great.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've always wondered what that would look like if ever I was to remove him from it. And this was definitely a topic of conversation that kind of sort of maybe came up last summer. And it just didn't happen for X, Y, and Z all the way to Z reasons. But I do feel because of situations like this, right, where one party may take a position and other parties may then come and be like, pump the brakes, that's not true, this and other. I just feel that to then enter into some form of an argument, I think that when you have it on paper and I think it's more clear and it's an agreement, I think that may prevent a lot of disagreements and prevent a lot of back and forth, because at the end of the day, I always think about the kids and I always think about kids are going to read, kids are going to come across this shit. Social media is there. Honestly speaking, when I saw that, I thought back, I got a little bit of PTSD of my own Facebook statuses.
I can
10
imagine.
plus years ago when I was going a little wild on it. And I was hopeful that somebody would see it and send it to his father. Like, 'cause I was petty. There was a point where I was just like, that bitter baby mama. There was a point, right?
I think we've all been there, like, at one point or another.
I think we've all gotten there.
Because that's the one time I was like, ooh, I'm about to, but then I didn't. But yeah, I've definitely been petty. Yo, sometimes when Facebook memories come up, I'm like embarrassed.
That's where I
like,
saw it recently. I was like, damn, why did I go off like this? And then I saw the date and I was like, what happened? Like, who did it? Let me see who commented. Maybe I'm gonna get a clue there, because you know your friends be shady too. They be like, yeah, tell that bitch this and tell him off, fuck him, and I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was like, y'all, I told someone the other day, had you caught me 10 years ago, it would have been a whole different Daisy.
Oh, it would have been a whole different. Yeah.
I feel you. I've definitely changed. Because I mean, yeah, half for the most part. I know sometimes I want to wild out on people at Walmart, but for the most part, I've changed.
Barbie, what's your
calm down? Calm down.
She calm.
I'd be like,
she calm. She be cute with it. She's cute. She's a MILF. What's your take on this, Barbie?
I agree. You know, thank God I haven't been in a situation like that. But you know, if I was, God forbid, I hope I don't. But if it's there in black and white, obviously, if it's documented within the courts and everything, there's no room for argument. Like, this is what it is. This is what you have to do. This is what I have to do. This is an agreement, and this is what we're gonna have to do from now on. Right. Because I mean, I know me. I'm a gentle soul too, so I'd be like, look, if you can at least provide this, there should be no excuses. If you are at least able to provide this amount, I'm okay.
Right.
But once you stray from that, okay, we're going to the notary. We're going to make up our own contract. And you're going to sign it. I'm going to sign it. And then we can't have no problems. So, you know, it's difficult, you know, because I think obviously when pettiness does come into play, that's where things get ugly.
I know.
And then people lose sight of the kids, and that's what's sad.
I just feel it just, you know, and I get it, these are celebrities, but the fact is they're still humans, they're still people. And a lot of people do go through this, maybe not with celebrity money and maybe not with celebrity bank accounts, but to the point that Virginia said, one parent may make way more than the other, and that may still be the custodial parent, right? So what does that look like for the other parent? Like, where, you know, when you think of percentages, when you think of who's with the child longer, when you think of where the child lives, there's so many logistics to this, right? There's so much.
Because Rob and Tyga made it seem like they have the kids most of the time. So.
Right.
Yeah. But my thing too with Black China is like, when you have a following that huge, she has over 1 million followers, does she not?
I believe so. Yeah.
Like, just based off the strength of your social media following, like, if I can make money off my few little 100,000 followers, like, you can make money off of your millions. Like, I've made good money off of social media. So if I can do it, like, bitch, you can do it way better than me.
Right.
You know? So
I agree.
And doesn't she have businesses too? I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what's up with your finances, Ma? Like, I don't know.
And I think it presents good questions, right? Because I think recently I had seen she came out that she was going to pursue legal action against the Kardashians because of when her show got canceled. She alluded to it having to do something with them. Listen, I'm here, first of all, to get to the bottom of everything. Second of all, I'm also here for the tea. Third, okay?
Yes.
Third, I'm also a believer that right is right and wrong is wrong. And so when she did post her message, she leads with that. She leads with right is right and wrong is wrong. And if she does have, in fact, proof that this family did affect her finances, then you're going to win. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And she needs to do what she needs to do, because to your point, right, it does raise a question, right? You definitely seem to be a woman who knows about her business. So what is in fact going on that you are now leading into this path, right? And I think it's valid questions. Unfortunately, she is in the light. She is a celebrity, so people can see this, right? And she chose to put this out there, right? But let's not go too far. As a regular schmegular person, if I go to social media right now and talk a bunch of shit about my struggles, I won't pass it by with a single person that may have a set of balls to say, well, doesn't your baby daddy give you child support? Or doesn't this or doesn't that? I'm not a celebrity, but there still be people who will question that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
sure. People are nosy.
Yeah, people are nosy. So I just wanted to start off the conversation with that one. Russell and Ciara, we're definitely gonna hit them off in a little later, because I'm still stuck on that one. But I wanted to kick it off with that because, like I said, we're mothers, right? We're MILFs, and we are here as women. We're working women. We are pushing forward with our children, for our children. I think it's a valid conversation to have, because I feel like there's still this type of debate over it. It's like some women feel like, nah, I'm not going to do that. He should just do that. And then some women are like, I'm just going to put it on paper. And I think sometimes it is a hit or miss. And I think sometimes it is about luck, like where we are lucky enough that we can just co-parent all together, all around, and we can coexist and we could get along and we have a clear understanding on what support looks like for this child. So, raw mess of the week, of course. Anyway, we're going to get into the as raw as it gets. And this is where we're going to open up these microphone hearts of ours. And I'm going to kick it off with, what does it mean to truly create a space for others and not just for ourselves? So I want to dive into the MILF podcast and the birth of it and how did this come about? You guys' friendship. I like to highlight the foundation. So hit me off with it.
Yeah. Well, we've been friends since I was basically 14 and a freshman in high school. So we've known each other. Like, I'll be 35 tomorrow, if that gives you any, like we've been friends for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, obviously, like, my old podcast, it was a lot about, like, love, friendship, sex. And, like, yeah, you heard about my motherhood, like, if I talked about it, but I still wanted, like, to create a platform where I was always talking about it. And I've had a blog called M.I.L.F Forever, which is an acronym for MILF. I've had that since, like, 2009. So then, brainstorming and whatnot, I was like, oh, it'd be fun to, like, do a podcast. And I actually think we talked about it even before I created the other podcast. Yeah. So this has been, like, in the works for the longest. But it's like, Barbie has 3 kids. I have 1, like, life and all that. So it just didn't happen. And I ended up creating the other one first. But it's always been like there, so we finally created it because we wanted it. Yes, there's other podcasts that are about motherhood, but it's not us,
Heard you. Heard you. Yes.
So we're like, 2 different perspectives. Like, we're 2 Latina women, different ethnicities and everything. Different, like, you're married, I'm not. Like, you have 3 girls, I have 1. So it was just like a nice little, like, melting pot, basically. So I thought it would be good to just, like, create our own space and, like, have it be inclusive of everyone, not just Latinas, like, anyone. Like, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. We're not, like, for Latinas, by Latinas. No, like, we're for everyone, we're for the people. So, yeah, we just wanted to create a space for, like, all types of mothers. And, yeah, we're pretty excited,
Very excited, because I knew, since high school, she's always been to journaling. And I think that was one of the things that I clicked with instantly with her, because I used to journal. So she kind of made me want to even journal more, which I did for a little bit. What was it called? Like Zanga.
I used
like
to love.
They had Zanga. They had, then MySpace came up.
Yes.
And, then Facebook slowly came in. And she began her blog. And I thought it was great that she was doing that. And then when she moved down here, she talked about the podcast that she was on previously. And, it made sense just for her to start this. Yeah. And, whether it was me or somebody else, I was very supportive, because I saw it building into something great. Because, yes, there's a billion of different things that are out there that are the same, but people still making money.
Exactly.
Like, people still make money. And I think her voice is just more outstanding than anybody.
Yes.
So I just love, and she's so creative. Like, I love the creativity that she always has.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. I love the energy. So first and foremost, I just want to say, you too, you guys are who you are, right? But you two remind me so much of how my best friend and I are. But there's so much that we're alike, and then there's so much we're so opposites.
Wait, what sign is your best friend?
She's a Capricorn.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's a Capricorn. We're rare. I'm a Scorpio. She's a Capricorn.
Because Barbie's Scorpio. That's what I was wondering.
I'm a Scorpio. She's a
Yeah.
Capricorn, but she's a very unique and different Capricorn. Like I've never met a Capricorn like her. To be honest with you, because most Capricorns are me. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna fuck with you. But her, she's different. She's so different. But it reminds me so much, because she's like that person who I've always known she has been able to highlight and admire my creativity, right? And she has always been that number one supporter. So like when I hear Barbie say whether it's me or someone else, right? It's like,
and it's like genuine, which is nice, because you can tell when people like fake friends, and it's
you can. It's very intuitive to be able to know that, to identify it. And I think that takes a lot of growth for that and maturity, to be able to see
Most
that
definitely.
coming, not turn a blind eye to it, and to accept it. Because let's face it, we can't change man, we can't change fake. Like, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to put them back to back like that, but that's exactly how I'm gonna put it.
No, it's true.
I want to highlight, especially for you, Virginia, the letting go of something. And
oh my god.
And well, I mean, I'm not gonna get into all the mess, because
I know,
Virginia
but
knows
it's
it.
just like,
But I want to highlight how that looked for you, the letting go of something or someone. The way I see it, it was at no choice, right? And at all costs.
it was. It was. I mean, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. It's so hard to let go of something that you created. Like you started from scratch. But yeah, it was like I didn't have, like, I gave it my all, and I tried until I couldn't try anymore. And then I was staying because like the people, like legit, all these messages I would get from, women, like just reaching out to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had to keep on going. And then I was trying to like let go of shit, like from my, the partner I was with. And like, it was just hard, because I just felt like I was beating a dead horse, and it's like, I don't know. But it was really hard to let go though, because like, no joke, the same week that I quit, and I think I said this on your on the last episode I was on for you. Like, there was a contract in our email. We had gone viral on TikTok, so like our numbers were growing, and I was just like, shit. Like, I don't know how Weezy and Mandy do it, honestly, because like, yeah, money is great and all, but like, if I genuinely don't fuck with you, I can't imagine sitting here on a weekly basis, And like, there's a lot more stuff that goes to it that's like more personal, but I tried. That's all I can say is I tried. And I'm not gonna lie, there are days, and ask Barbie, there are days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm back at fucking square one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at our numbers and it's like nowhere near the numbers I had before, but at the same time, it's like I was a half of that, and like I brought a lot to the table, so I know that we're gonna be popping, we're gonna be good. Like, we just started, so I'm just like trying to get us out there. But like I said, some days are hard, but then I will remind myself, like, I'm the shit, I'm gonna be okay. I got a great ass partner. Like, I always tell her, like, oh my gosh, like everything is like so streamlined right now, because you also have to like learn from your past. So like, I know what not to do, what to do, what the people want. Like, So it's just been like, it's funny because we hired an editor and he's awesome. Like, love him. But then one day I had to edit and it was so fucking easy compared to before. Like, it was like such a fucking headache before. And we probably should have hired an editor and we didn't. And like now it's just like, bloop. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy, you know? So it's just, I don't know. It was a blessing in disguise. And I think a lesson that I learned is that A, be careful who you do business with. And B, it's okay to let go and it's okay to start over.
Yes.
You know?
So with that liner, this is truly, that end is truly what became your beginning, essentially.
Yeah.
So this is like
Yeah.
the brand new beginning. And that's exactly what I wanted to highlight, right? I wanted to highlight how it is okay to let go. It is okay. And I love that you said, listen, how beautiful would it be to be able to monetize this shit to the utmost and I could quit my job tomorrow, right? Great, perfect. But there's certain levels of sanity that go to this too. You know, when you become full entrepreneur, we don't sleep. Like, and I'm gonna say we because we have jobs and we do this too. And there's times that it's like I really gotta balance it all out, right? Because it's just so much. But we love to do it. And I think the real question is, if you no longer love what you're doing or the way you're doing it or who you're doing it with, then where is it that your sanity comes first? Where is it that your existence comes first? Where is it that, you know, is Virginia okay? Is Barbie okay? Is Daisy okay? You know what I mean? And I think that's essentially like how you said, you know, Weezy and Mandy, they've been in the potty for how many years now, right? Like,
I know, but like still, like honestly, I don't think any amount of money could have kept me going.
Right.
Honest, like, and I'm being so fucking honest because I
She's
left
not
money.
lying.
Like I left money. Like I fucking debated like
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, all right. I'm like, maybe the money will make things better.
right. You think, well, it's got, I mean, shit, let's MILF this. It's like, you know, those people would think, oh, maybe if we have a baby, we could stay together.
Yeah. No, but it's like I knew we couldn't because like I had tried and I tried and like it's not like I just quit like, oh, I give up, things are hard.
Right.
No, I
You
tried, you
And
know.
try. For the record,
Yeah,
for those of you
so-
who might be confused, we're totally not talking about a relationship. We're totally talking about a podcast, a previous podcast that was with two people, right? And what I
Yeah.
love about this is it's so intriguing to me how a lot of people, it's not the same. Oh, it is. Every relationship, when you think about it, every type of relationship you have, it entails a lot of what that partnership looks like. That's exactly what it
Yeah.
entails. Because for a quick second, anybody would have thought we're talking about a lover or something.
Oh,
you know,
I
and
know.
it's not it.
That's
But
true.
think about that. Put that into perspective for a second. Okay, great. So here we are on a new journey with the MILF podcast. You guys have 27 years, right? 20 years of friendship? No, 20 something. Yeah.
Let me see, 14, like 20, like 21.
It's hitting there, I think.
We're
yeah.
legal to drink now.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is a very long-standing friendship. That's as long as my friend and I have been. Well, my best friend,
Aw.
like who you know, that's my right hand, my son's godmother, you name it, right? Speaking of numbers and the milestones, you know, a reality for you is, you know, starting from the beginning, right? And how does that reflect the milestones and the achievements of where MILF Podcast is going? For me, you know, knowing what this momentum is, you guys are here joining me on the 100th episode, right? And seeing how does that look like as a milestone, as an achievement. I actually have the idea that if in fact I'm talking milestones, achievements, and success, do I put what those qualifications are, or do I just quantify it, right? Is it just based on numbers, or is it what it means and how I got there and the story behind it all? And for me, I look at what 100 episodes are, right? And it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for this. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, collaborators. Thank you, guests. Thank you, everyone, for that, right?
Yes.
But for me, it's really reflecting back to 2 years and really looking at everything a platform like this, a microphone, has allowed me to do, right? And I look at just the entire quality of it and the entire quantity of it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, it's everything else, the in-betweens, is everything else that gives me the sense of achievement and success. And I wanted to know, what does achievement and success and milestone look like to you ladies?
I mean, numbers are great, of course, but I don't think numbers are everything either. I think it's definitely the journey. Like, I've met so many cool people, whether it's like recording and collaborating with them, just like listeners like messaging and emailing, like that's been amazing. Reviews, like just when like I would remember I would wake up and like I would just be having a bad day and I would check the phone and I'm like, oh shit, we got a new review, and like we haven't gotten one yet, but we gonna get there.
I'm waiting.
But you know, like I'm excited for like these milestones that I did reach with my old podcast that I want to, you know, that I know we're gonna reach with this new podcast. But yeah, like I said, the numbers are great and all, but I just love like everything else in between, like just like meeting people, traveling. Like there's so many things I've done because of podcasting. Like I went to Nashville in August to go to a podcasting conference, and I got to like meet some people in real life, network, and just like learn, because like I hadn't launched this podcast yet, but like I knew I was about to. So it's just, I don't know, I'm just excited for the future, and like I know it's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely.
You know?
For you, Barbie, what does that look like to you?
For me, it's the reviews.
Okay.
And interacting with the audience, you know, like I encourage it. You know, I don't know, I guess it's the Scorpio in me. Like you could tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm gonna thrive off of it, because you know, I always see that there's always something I can improve on, you know. And for me, for the past 2 years, you know, it's been a roller coaster for me. So I cannot tell you, like, self-reflect is so important, I think, for anybody. And if you don't reflect, I feel like you're running away from yourself.
Ooh, okay, Barbie. Okay.
And I thought I was doing that before, but you know, not to this level where I feel like I ripped my soul apart.
Okay. Oh my God.
Just to piece it back together. And with this podcast, you know, yes, it's a little scary, but you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
I know.
but you know, I love it, and I get excited every time we get to do it. And I know, you know, we were tired and everything, but you know, I'm like, no, I want to do it.
Yes.
I'm excited, and you know, I can't wait to hear what people have to say, because even quantifying it, you know, I like that too, because you get to look back. You're like, yo, I started all the way from here, and look where we're at right now. And I think that's such a great thing to see, for you to visualize and see it right in front of your face and see the growth. And you know, the feedback that's what I'm waiting for, because that's the best part for me. So I think it's amazing.
First of all, she's such a Scorpio. She's like stealing my heart even more now, because
she really is.
That's exactly how I am too. It's like, you know, we see so much, right? But it's just really, who did I impact? Like just that one person. Who did I impact?
And sometimes you don't realize who you do impact. Like it's crazy. And I think sometimes we compare ourselves so much to like other like social media people or podcasters and what have you. But one thing I learned, that like, yeah, would it be cool to have like 100,000 followers? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's not about the numbers either, because you can have higher engagement with a smaller amount of, you know, followers or what have you. And like one thing, there's like a book or something, I forgot where I read it, but it's on my iPad somewhere. But it's something called I think it's called like 100 True Fans.
Oh,
like,
yes, I know that one.
Yeah, because you can have like, someone could have like 1 million followers, and like let's say they try to sell something or what have you, and like only like a tiny bit will buy, if anything. But then with 100 true fans, it's like, as long as you have those 100 true fans, like you'll get more out of it. You know? So it's like, I'd rather have like a little tribe who really fucks with me than like a whole bunch of people who don't give a fuck. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So while we're at that with the 100 true fans, it was funny because I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to do it. We have shared on this platform of reviews from a particular listener, right? And it's funny because about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I got a DM from this listener, which I always used to get DMs from him. So this is a public service announcement to Sky Burner, and I'm going to say this way because I truly believe his page got hacked. And because he was always, you know, very involved. Love the episode this week, you know, and he's just one of those listeners that has been so loyal. So if you did get hacked, like, just show a sense of life on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast, because
I know, right? Like, let me know.
You know, when you get to know your listeners, and he's actually one of the listeners that I got to know,
And that's the
It's so
best.
amazing. And I got to know him virtually. You know, he shared with me one time, oh, my wife and I, we like this episode. You know, that means so much. And I want to be able to share this too and highlight a little bit more. I went to this event a couple of weeks ago, and I want to highlight this even more because I do believe I mentioned it briefly. And if I didn't, that's fine. I'll mention it now. But it was a very personal event. It was a good friend of mine. It was a gender reveal. I'm not gonna say who because you know she hasn't posted it yet on social media, so I can't do all of that. You know, but she looks so cute. Oh my god, she's gonna join the mom club for the first time, and I'm so excited for her.
Yay.
Yes, and you know, she had been you know, also a loyal listener, also a true fan, a partner, right, a business partner, a true supporter of this platform. And I'm there in her house, and other friends were there, and these two people, a married couple, come up to me and they go, so you're the voice of Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast.
Oh, that's so cool.
And like my heart just popped out of my chest. They just didn't see it, but I did. I felt it. And
that's so
I just
cool.
sat with them and I started talking to them. And to hear two people reference my show, say that they hear it together, you know, say like, you know, talk about this, like, it just meant so much to me. I'm getting emotional. It just meant so much to me. Like, to,
no, that is
it's so awesome to me. It's so amazing that even if it is just in 2 years that I've been able to meet 3 people in particular, and I've gotten emails and I've gotten reviews and I've gotten DMs, but to really get to meet someone and have them come up to me and say, oh, so you're that voice, you're the person.
Yeah.
It means just so much. It means that somewhere, somehow, whatever I have to say, it meant something. And so shout out to them. You know, since they say they listen, this is for you guys. You know, I appreciate the support and the love. And that's really where I see how significant a milestone of 100 episodes look like, right? How significant it is that even when you walk away from something, you don't give up on a passion that you have, and you kick off a MILF podcast that you knew you always wanted to, because the truth is, you know that there is a platform in that itself. There is a community for that itself, that there are people who are going to wait to relate to someone, to relate to two people who can make it make sense for them, and who can, it could feel like home. For me, as a mom in love forever, and also a MILF, you know, the other MILF,
right, both of them.
Yes, all of that right here. Just take a quick look. See, all of it, all of it. For me, it means a lot to have a platform where I could tune into, and it could be a sense of relief for me, and it could touch my soul. And I could sit there and say, I get it. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what it is for me. Shit, fuck. And be able to express myself like that. That's exactly what that is about. The achievements, the success, and the milestones. That's what that's for. So I wanted to shine a little as well as it gets light on that. I want to go into the double or nothing. And this is when we're going to get a little testy, guys. A little bit. This show is sponsored by Queens Infusions, a mompreneur-owned brand that creates terpenes and CBD-infused wellness products. Woman-owned, mompreneur, small business-owned, Queens Infusions wellness products are homemade in small batches from locally sourced ingredients, and they are my absolute favorite. To mellow out, to chill, to enjoy the scent, the taste, ooh, you name it. You don't want to miss this. Go to the show notes, go to Queens Infusions Etsy shop, and at checkout, use DDRT code for 20% off, courtesy of Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I want to kick into I am all in support of men speaking up and sharing their stories and creating spaces for men to have a voice. And I am. Recently, I've definitely had several male guests come on this show, speak on their stories, their journeys, a lot of their traumas as growing up, you know, in the hood, growing up just here in New York City, just so many backgrounds, right? And I'm all for it. And then we have men who do have mics, and they just have she's like, yeah. And then they just have a lot of shit to say, right? And so I guess what I want to bring up here, because it gets to me a little bit, and I feel like as mothers and as women, sometimes we feel like, fuck, like, where is it that we're getting our wires completely tangled, never mind crossed, we're getting wires completely tangled, right? I'm a single woman, right? I have been dating. I'm back to dating now.
Okay.
I am. It's been pretty eventful. It's been-
That's good.
One of them was eventful, a great event. The other one, I
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't. I have no words. I really don't. Listen, I tried. But I do feel like we're dealing still with a lot of stigma surrounding what male expectations are, and also some women expectations, right? Whether they're realistic or not, right? And so one of the things, we've definitely seen it and we've heard it in these pod streets. This rapper said the reason why he proposed to her was because her body count was low. I don't know if you know her true body count, but whatever.
That's so
It's so stupid, right? But then you also hear other shit around. And so one of the things I did hear recently, and I know I highlighted it in the beginning, but I want to shine light on this right now, right? It was this comment about Ciara being with Russell because of his money, in a sense, because he has money to begin with, right? Because she went from Russell Senior to be with this man, right? And I think that alludes to this idea of being a gold digger. I think that alludes to this idea of women only have an interest in that, right? Or in other words, would she be with him if he didn't have that money? And I feel that we are in a society where there's still the stigma. Several weeks ago, we had a man say, oh, if you're a woman who makes too much money, you disqualified yourself because, you don't need a man, this, that, and the third. Yeah, these are real conversations that are happening amongst men.
I know.
And the reason why, and listen, this is not a male bashing. I love my men. I love my men that I've met. I love these men who are strong. I'm not saying I have relationships with them. Plenty of them are married, and I am supportive of their wives too. Friendships, right? I love a good man who has a strong voice and knows how to give an opinion. What I'm not here for is the judgments. And I despise the fact that we are in a space in society still where we are still so entangled with our wires that we cannot just give a little bit of grace to one another, right? Where we run to judge so much. So because I would like someone who is meeting my income range, all of a sudden I'm a gold digger, or
That's
because
so
I'm in a
stupid.
certain range, I should just be disqualified because, she has too much already. She ain't gonna want me. How do you know that though? How do you know that money is not a factor for me? How do you know that to what extent money is or may not be a factor for me? Right. And so I wanted your thoughts a little bit about that. And I wanted for us to be able to call a spade here. I wanted you guys to chime
definitely.
into this conversation a little bit more and your thoughts.
Well, for the Ciara thing, first of all, it's not like she was a broke bitch. Like, she was an
Exactly.
artist. She had money, right?
Yo.
But this is my thing, too. Some people say Russell Wilson's ugly. I don't think he's ugly. I don't think he's like Papi Chulo, but he's all right looking. But the most important thing out of their relationship is that she wanted a man of faith. She wanted a man who had a strong relationship with God, and that's exactly who she got. It had nothing to do with money or anything. So that whole argument, they need to shut the fuck up, because it comes down to her being with someone who matches her faith, and that's really important to some people. So in that instance, I'm like, I hate when people talk about them. I'm just like, it has nothing to do with money at all.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
It
It's
is
just
hate because it's true love. It's genuine. She looks so happy compared to when she was with her ex,
Cute.
And people don't like to see other people happy for some
At
reason. I don't know
all.
why.
Absolutely.
And then there are women in the world, and even men too. There's men who have sugar mamas, but there are women who have sugar daddies. But not every woman's like that. I want to be with a partner who has similar to me, or if he has more, cool. But I don't think I would want someone who has less than me, though. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to support anyone.
Okay.
If if we're together and you go through a struggle, then okay. But not a long term, 5 years later and you still don't have a job. No. I'm older now. I need someone I can settle with and, what have you. But I'm also not looking for a man to support me, because I don't know if it's because I grew up with a single mom and just because my love life has been a roller coaster. Okay. But I always make sure to have my own, because I feel like the few times that I've gotten a little too comfortable, not that they supported me, but just comfortable, whether it's splitting rent or whatever, I don't like that feeling where my world gets turned upside down. So I just make sure I'm good all the fucking time.
Amen.
Now, like all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, so you got to be on the same level, or like if you have more, cool, but I'm not with you for your money. Like I got my own at the end of the day.
Barbie, how do you feel about that? I want to get your take on this.
I can say that, you know, maturity is very important.
Definitely.
I just think that the whole Ciara and Russell Wilson thing is bananas, because I'm like, I don't see why people are still hung up on the money or assuming she's a gold digger, you know, like Ciara's already had money. And what I have seen in her posts is how happy she is. And that's what it comes down to any sort of relationship, you know, like if you're not happy, then why be in it? And, you know, you don't want to raise somebody. So it's like, I don't want to raise another person. I already got 3 that I had to raise on my own. Yeah. Like, and yes, you have to be financially stable.
Okay.
Not like, oh my God, you're like super rich. No, like as long as you got a job and you taking care of what you need to take care of, I respect that.
I would say financially literate, because like some
That's
people, like it's amazing the amount of people. No, because like I mean, not that I've always had my shit together, but like I just feel like just in general, I talk to so many people, and a lot of people's finances are fucked. Like whether it's like they don't have credit cards, don't believe in credit, have fucked up credit or whatever. So it's like you can have a good credit score and like you may not have a lot in your account, but at least you're worthy of something too. You know what I mean? So it's like people just need to get their shit together, basically.
I think it's definitely the financial stability and literacy for me. Right.
Yes.
So I have a confession.
What?
Okay. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know, a long, long time ago, I've been on this vibe and this wave that I've been wanting to marry a stay-at-home dad. Okay. That's been my thing. Then I kind of was like, all right, he could own something, I guess a business if he has to. Like, that's fine. Okay.
I guess he could
right.
work.
Okay. But it was mostly because thinking about having a child again with someone, right? I'm thinking, and listen, this is a real MILF moment. Let's face it. Childcare is expensive as fuck, and I will stand by that no matter what. And, you know, gas prices are going up. Groceries are expensive. The milk is like, oh my God, it's expensive as shit. So for me, when I think even more so about the idea of I meet someone and I have a child, like one of us is going to have to stay home, and it ain't going to be me, because I don't want to stay at home. It's not for me. I tried the whole working from home. It's not for me. I went nearly crazy. Okay. I can't. I can't. Right. But then maybe he can, right? And so I've had this idea in my mind, and I've had my friends be like, yo, bitch, like, come on. That's not realistic. My boys are like, I mean, I would stay, but, you know, like, what's that going to look like? Like, have you thought about how that's going to look, right? And so I have been faced recently in the dating scene, you know, because I'm back on it, right? I think these men are great in just who they are. Yes, I date multiple people because I'm not committed to no one. Okay.
Exactly.
I think they have a sense of good career paths. I think the work that they do is great. One of them in particular was a true hustler. Like, you know, he had multiple jobs, and I think that's fantastic, right? And then I realized, thinking of goals, thinking of their financial stability and where their financial literacy falls, I realized it was not meeting my expectations.
Oh no.
And I had to start asking myself, remember what Barbie said, we got to reflect, right? I had to start asking myself, are you being true to what your standards are? Are you being true? Are you being honest with yourself of what you want? Like, are you okay? Once upon a time, I was married to someone who at one point didn't make less than me. Right? I was, right? I'm not going to say which one. I've been married twice. But maybe both of them. I
didn't know you you were married twice. I'm
A
like,
lot
you
of
learned
the
something
world
new.
didn't know I was married twice. Now they know I'm
I'm
divorced
kidding.
twice too. But it was great. Both experiences are very unique, right? The first one you marry for love, the second one you marry for money. So I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. But the thing is, right, for me, it's like, it didn't work out then, right? And back then, I didn't think too much of, well, how much do I make? How much that person makes? Because I'm just so in love here, right? You just love this person so much and you want to create this world, right? And now today, and listen, no shade, I think they're both in great spaces. They're both very happy. They're both doing their thing. And listen, kudos to them, right? But now looking at myself at 36, now reevaluating, reflecting, now looking back 100 episodes and realizing the shit I was talking episodes ago. I don't know if that's matching my purpose anymore. I don't know if that idea of having a stay-at-home dad, or even the idea that, oh, I'll be okay if they make a little less than me. I don't know if that's matching.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. I have to confess.
And see, that's a great thing that you can always grow and evolve.
Yeah.
Because me 2 years ago isn't me now, you know?
So with that said, though, does that make me a fucking gold digger? Does that make me?
No.
Does that make
No.
me like a woman who is expecting way too much? Based on what some males in society are judging it to be.
But you know what it is too? It's like some women who these men have been with are okay with accepting less, whether it's not getting wined and dined, not being taken out, not, even though it's materialistic things like buying gifts, or like some women don't know how to be treated. So then when a guy meets a woman who does want all that stuff and has her shit together, they're like, oh, she's too much, like, nah, but it's like, no, I just have standards and you should fucking have them too.
I agree 100%. So I feel comfortable confessing this here today with my MILFs here, because I think it was just important for me to show the growth, show the maturity, because I do consider that a level of growth for me, because these dating streets is not, it's just not happening. It's just like, I'm trying, I'm giving it a shot. I'm not trying to be too hard. My best friend was, I bet you're being a little too hard. I was like, no, I'm not, but I'm going to compromise. And I did. And I felt it out. And I realized that's not cutting it. My standards are now different.
Yeah.
They have elevated a little bit higher. I kind of went back to my journal and rewrote, the manifestations and shit. And I was,
oh yeah, that's so important. And be very specific with what you want.
I was scratching shit out. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Fix this. Add another zero. This is not gonna work. Add another zero. This is not it. Well, because I realized then too, the goals that I'm setting for myself, what I look to for the future as another milestone, as an achievement, and as a success, it looks like it has another zero. It looks like it has more entrepreneurship. And so when I tell a man, I am very, very busy, and he's not understanding that, and he's not accepting that, and he's not trying to work with me on that, that's a problem. It's a real problem. And I'm realizing that as I continue to date. And so I've had to really reevaluate and reflect a lot on this shit. And so, public service announcement, anybody who's tuning in and you're single and you're trying to date me, just know for the 5th time, I am very, very busy, and I'm adding another zero to the income. That's all I'm saying.
I know time is precious, so it's like, just be patient.
It's just too much. I want to circle back a little bit to the co-parenting, right? And what does that look like when we reach that level of acceptance, right? When we're accepting certain things in our lives and we're okay with where we are, right? And how does that look like with co-parenting? Because here's the thing. We break up, right? We're no longer together, right? But who I was then is not who I am today, and how my standards have elevated and how they're evolving, right? As a human being. How does that affect in any way, shape, or form what co-parenting looks like?
It's funny because you said who you were then is not who you are now. And I feel like for the longest, part of our issue was that he still thought of me as like 20-year-old Virginia, Not that I was like super immature or whatever, but me then and me now is not the same person. So I feel like our co-parenting has been a fucking roller coaster. Like literally, not a fun one either. I mean, right now it's fine, but it's like, we've grown over the years. Like we were young when we had our kids. So It's not easy.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you that much. It's not easy, but I feel like once I put my emotions aside 100%, that's when shit started being better, because the first 2 years I was like, I love you, let's be together, our family, you know? And it was just like, nah, like that wasn't gonna happen. And then once I got it through my fucking big ass head, like, then things started being better, because I just feel like the emotions is what fucks things up. Like, once you remove that, then for the most part, you can be like kosher with each other.
How does it look like for you, Barbie?
She's
like, haha, just kidding. No.
It was a lot. It was a lot. You know, it definitely took a lot of growth.
Okay.
A lot of growth and a lot of communication, even though I'm the one that's big on communication. It feels like sometimes, you know, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Spoken like a true Scorpio MILF.
You know, but it took a lot. And now, you know, my oldest she'll be 18 this year. I'm like, oh my God.
Beautiful.
Like, you know, so I'm glad that her and her dad have a much better relationship now. You know, it's a lot of elements. It's a lot of elements, and you know, emotions is one thing that gets you into a lot of heated debates and discussions. And you know, you're like, I'm going nuts. Like, what are they not understanding sometimes? And, you know, then I look at myself like, well, what am I not understanding? What am I missing? Like, why are we arguing right now? Like, you know, but it's great to have peace now.
Oh my gosh, I love peace. Yes.
Peace is so important.
Yeah.
You know, and co-parenting, you know, I seen a lot of stuff online and a lot of, you know, debates about it, because I'm like, oh, you're normalizing co-parenting. I want a family. Like,
bitch, I want a family too, but this is your family.
Everybody
you end up
wants
having
a family,
a blended family
and
now.
a blended family is no different than any family and what the structure is, what you consider.
Amen to that.
Family.
Let's get all the way on that one. Put another dose on that one. Talk your shit, Barbie. Let's go.
So, you know, I'm like, look, you want what you want in your life. I want what I want in my life. You want what you want. You want what you want. You know, I'm not going to shit on what looks great to you and what makes you happy. I might not agree with it, or you might not agree with mine, but I love you. I care about you. And as long as you're happy, I'm happy. And if it's somebody I don't get along with, then all right, that's none of my business. That's your shit. You know, like, what does it matter if people are co-parenting?
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter? Like, if you know, like, some people, like, oh, they couldn't get along, they always fought. Well, now they're co-parenting and everything's great, so then why not be together? Well, maybe because we argued all the damn time.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want my kids growing up in a house where they saw their parents fighting all the damn time.
And I think that's what it comes down to, is the kids. Like, I've been put in awkward situations where it's like myself, her father, and then like the father's girlfriend. Like, do I want to be there? No, but I'm gonna suck it up and like, you know, like, for my kid. Like, you just want what's best for them, and it's just like having all that drama and shit. And I feel like I said, back to the emotion thing really quick, like, I feel like sometimes when there's a lot of emotions involved and you're trying to hurt each other, yeah, you might be hurting each other, but you're hurting the kid the most, actually, at the end of the day, you know? So it's just like, put those fucking emotions aside and do what's best for the kid, because that's who matters. And like, believe it or not, we affect them way more than we fucking think.
And they're always paying attention.
They are.
They
like,
always are.
always.
So, okay, I'm gonna kick you guys off with another confession. I've tried it a little bit on this, but again, to me sharing information here on my platform also has a lot to do with who I'm sharing it with and who's the person who I'm speaking with, right? And so if I'm going to have a type of conversation about motherhood, relationships, womanhood, co-parenting, you damn right it's going to be with Virginia and Barbie, right? But I want to shine light on this a little bit, because I don't think I ever gave all the details on this. I have prided myself on the level of co-parenting my son's father and I have done, and the relationship I have with his wife, who I so love dearly. and he and I, we are friends.
That's so good. I love
That's
it.
We are. I want to say
good.
we are, right? Friends fight, right? Sometimes friends
Yeah.
argue. Sometimes, some friends have children together, right? In our case, we have a son, right? I was so certain and so confident in where we reached by 2021. And then Marcus went out, my child's. He went out there for a whole summer.
Oh yeah, I remember last summer.
I was
Yeah.
preparing, right, to be a hoe, to be a thought. Remember, I was like, I'm all for that. So remember, I was like so ready for it. I'll talk about that another time. But it was great. I went to drop him off. I actually stayed with them in their home. They invited me to stay there, right? Which I actually appreciated because I was able to witness a dynamic for my son to be so happy to have his parents in one roof, to have, he calls her mom. I'm his mama, and I'm okay with him calling her mom. I see that as a true, genuine love he has with her.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that at all.
I'm okay with that.
Some women feel threatened. Some women feel threatened, but I'm like, at the end of the day, whatever woman is involved in my child's life and like a mother role, I really don't mind, because at the end of the day, I know where I stand in my kid's life, so like, why would I feel
Oh girl, I've gotten all
that?
sorts of looks like, you are. I was like, I mean,
I don't
she
get
I don't get it either.
If he wants to and he had that conversation with me, which he did, I'm okay with it. I know who I am to my son. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel it's a competition at all. And again, that just shows me he truly loves her, and honestly, she adores him. This woman messages him every day. I actually tend to yell
I
at my
love
son, and I'm like, don't
that.
be one of those
That's
guys
so
that doesn't reply back,
beautiful.
because I can't stand
Yeah.
that. And she's like your other mom, and you need to like answer back. Like, enough is enough, right? Because he's one of
Yeah.
those boys, right? So I say that to say,
teenagers.
so I say that to say, this summer was definitely a true test for us, because it was once again, we're realizing that now we're raising a teenager and we are parenting very different. And there was a couple of times we had to have discussions, and I got a little defensive. I got a little protective, because you're not going to tell me about my kid, because he's always with me, and what you trying to say, and I realized that on his end, the way he was trying to start the conversation was like, I don't want us to argue. I just want to share something with you. It's just a couple of observations, but I would really like for us to have a conversation. And there was a whole speech to that. And I realized that a lot of that has to do with who we were back then. Who we were at, like the fighting, the arguing, the clashing. We just was not like this. We was not coming together to co-parent at all. And so here we were treading still a little lightly around a tough conversation. And I was like, he's getting on my nerves. Why is he talking to me like this? Like, what's he about to say? I realized I was still getting defensive. I realized that it was still a test for me to be accepting of who we are today as parents, and the different way we're co-parenting now, right? Of how the sharing custody is going to look like, right? Is he just gonna fly out there whenever? Are you coming to get him? He's older now. He could fly again by himself. COVID has calmed down a little bit. How long is he gonna stay? The kid has soccer now. The kid has training in the summer. There's so many things now that we're now relearning how to accept who we are now today from who we were pre-pandemic. We're learning how to accept the new way of co-parenting. We're learning how to accept who we have become post-pandemic and how that shit affected us. Both of us have worked in healthcare. We were very affected emotionally and mentally by the pandemic. And so there were times where we were coming at each other, and life was affecting our co-parenting. So I wanted to shine a little light what that accepting looks like. Because I think that the more older we get and the more mature we get, there's a certain level of growth that it may not be at the same level. It may not be parallel, right? And who's to say it's supposed to, if all we are is co-parenting, we're no longer together? Do you need to match do you need to be parallel to my co-parenting as we continue to get older? A question that probably needs to answer still, I don't know, but I'm realizing that more and more today, and the shit is getting fucking harder and harder. It is, honestly.
Yeah, it can get hard.
One more note on the double or nothing that I'm realizing a little bit more, and it's a confessional. My son is 15, And he dropped the bomb on me that, this girl he was talking to. And I was like, I didn't know he was talking to a girl. First of all, I didn't know you still say those phrases, right? I was like, people still say that. I'm talking to this girl. So it can't, listen, I was like, excuse me? Like, I have never blinked so many times in my life.
I can only imagine.
No, and then it was like, that girl I'm talking to, right? I was like, no. I was like
who is that?
No.
What's her name? What's her social? Where does she live?
I was trying to find out the social. I'm kidding. I don't know if her mama ever
go on Facebook.
I mean, I definitely wanted to see a picture of something and then see if I catch her in these streets or something. I don't know. But it was a reality to me that we're entering that new phase of parenting in this home.
Oh, I know.
And already I'm saying this and I'm like, my chest is hurting. I am now realizing I had no choice. I didn't know what to do. I know I have my brothers here who talk to him. I know my brother-in-law who's also his godfather, just like my brothers talk to him. But I immediately grabbed the phone and I immediately texted his father and I said, your son has a girlfriend. He's talking to a girl. You need to talk to him. You need to have conversations with him. This is what I know so far. He's like, calm down, relax, Daisy. He's growing up. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Like, the schools are right near the house. I'm not here all the time. What if they come to this house? I was panicking when I tell you. And so, my fellow MILFs, how have you dealt with this reality of this? I mean, Barbie, your oldest is hitting 18, so you've kind of you've been through this phase of the teens for quite some time. Virginia, I know baby girl's entering, right? She just entered.
Yeah, she's gonna.
How are we dealing with this? How is this reality kicking in with you guys?
Well, I can start off because my oldest, she told me about her boyfriend when she was 15.
Oh.
And it was just at that age. And then on top of that, it didn't help that they met online. Oh. So that I was like, okay, wait, I need to know what he looks like. I want his phone number. I want his screen name. I want everything, I want to see, because, in the age that we grew up, AOL was the new thing. And, like, it was exciting. You were in chat rooms and I was like, yo, I got myself into some shit.
I know. I remember how I was as a teen. And I'm like, don't be like me.
So I'm like, I'm making sure that I'm on top of her, So I met him. They were the same age. He's like a year older than her by a couple months.
And they're so cute
and
together,
so
honestly.
Cute.
That makes me feel better.
So
like, they match each other.
They really do.
Yeah.
And,
he's a good boy, man. Young man.
He is. And, I think he's amazing. He's super intellectual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, oh, Angie.
Okay.
Like, good job.
Oh, okay.
Like, I wish I would have dated guys like that.
But it was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, but you're my little Angie. Like, you can't be dating now. Like, no.
Like, stay little.
Yeah. But then I was like, wait, bonus, he lives in the Bronx.
Ew.
We're here in PA.
I know, so that's a travel.
Nah, but what's his name?
so
What's his
I was
picture?
like-
Where he's from? Because
right. Is it my son? No, I'm
Hi,
kidding.
Zane.
I keep a lookout.
But
Don't me.
Right.
Like, I had to, I had to think about when I was her age. And, I was like, you're doing a whole lot better than I was.
Yes.
A whole lot better,
Yes.
And I keep an open conversation with her. Like, I make sure, like, communication was something that I always stress. I know she wasn't the greatest in expressing herself. It took a while for her to be, expressing herself. And the best way she found it was through writing. And she would show me. And then we got to a point where we were able to talk face to face. And it wasn't so bad anymore.
Nice.
And I'm like, look, I'm your mom. I'm always going to be your friend too. But I'm your mom first. And you have to be honest with me. Honest. I was like, because boys are going to be boys. And, they're not wired the same way we are.
No.
And, if you're not ready for, that, then you need to express it. And he needs to respect you. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you can't be having sex before you get married, or, I'm not that type of person, As long as my kid is open with me, I'm like, look, you have to be honest with me at all times. You have to understand that I might be upset with with something, you might tell me. I'm human. I have emotions just like you do. But don't be scared to come and tell me something or any question, because you got to know I'm not judging you. I'm not a judgmental person at all. I'm open-minded. I listen first. And if this resonates with me and I feel safe in your energy, you're going to be in my life.
Absolutely.
If you don't, then I'll love you from a distance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've always taught my daughter, and I'm teaching my 2 little ones too, always come talk to me. Always. Don't be scared.
And I think that's like the biggest takeaway from all this. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like growing up, my mom never talked to me about sex, like ever.
At
like, you know, so I learned through my friends. I learned, well, basically through, friends, basically. And
friends.
maybe watching TV or whatever. Now I have my Barbies have sex with each other and all
Yeah.
that. But like, I never had that relationship with my mom where I ever felt comfortable to talk to her. So that's one thing that I said, when I have kids, I'm definitely going to have that open conversation with them, because like, I wish I would have had that. Like, I think that's such a great feeling. And I love when my kid comes and talks to me about things. And I just think communication is key, like with our kids, with everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because, you know, my mom, I love my mom. Hi, Mom. You know, like, I definitely picked up a lot of her stuff, you know, because I wish I had known that, you know, she was someone that I can go talk to, because I was just so scared.
It's scary.
I was so scared. I was like, she gonna yell at me, and I don't feel like dealing with that right now. You know, so it's just like, I don't know if I can tell her about that. I don't know if I can tell her I started having sex. Yeah, I was just terrified, you know. And my daughter, you know, she's like, no, I feel comfortable talking to you because you're a safe place to talk. I feel like I can be honest with you without feeling like, oh my God, I gotta hold back because this person's gonna get angry, you know. And that was one of the things, you know, that made me deter from talking to my own parents, because I'm like, oh my God, like if I say something, I'm gonna get like
I'm gonna hit with a chancla.
like I don't want to deal with
it.
And you know, disappointment, and I think disappointment for a teenager especially, it hits hard. It hits really hard. And that's one of the things that I think she fears the most, is that I'm going to be disappointed in her. And I'm like, no, as long as I know that you're giving your full 100%, you're being honest with me. Yeah. I'm going to support you no matter what. And I'm here to help you no matter what, because who else is going to do that for you except me?
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I want to say this, because we're highlighting milestones, because this is the 100th episode. And if we look back to several episodes where, oh my God, I thought my son had a girlfriend, this one was different. This one made me realize I not only had to tell him, you can come talk to me about sex and you can come talk to me about these things. This one meant I had to start having that conversation. Yeah, that's definitely what this level of growth has evolved into, right?
Like, I'll randomly just like talk about sex because I just want you to know that it's okay.
Like now it's like, and like get down to it.
Yeah, and it's like, and sometimes you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to have these conversations, but we're gonna have them, you know.
And it's so funny because I say that all the time on this fucking show. Like, here we get comfortable being uncomfortable. Y'all, a bitch has been getting real uncomfortable with her child, like, having to talk, right? And a full circle moment, right? Because I don't know if I think by now my listeners know this, right? But this is definitely the full circle here of why I made this flow exactly what it was during this segment. When we look at co-parenting for women like Ciara, or women like us, when we look at how different it looks from where my blended family is today, and the purpose or the reason why I'm with that person, right? And how co-parenting looks like when I share one child with one man and then I have my other children with the other person, right? There's a lot of different journeys and pathways through that, right? When you have more than one child at different ages, there's so much to that, right? So when I think and I play with the idea of having another child when my kid is 15, I start panicking a little bit, right? Because there's so much
that's gonna be me too,
right?
Daisy. A huge ass age
there's
gap.
so much to that too, right? So I love having this moment where I'm actually able to talk to someone like Barbie to say, oh, she's already 18. Oh my God. Okay, how do we get there? Like, because I know 18 is like right there, but it feels so far, and like these are new conversations, right? And for myself, or for people like Virginia too, like we're in the mid-teens, and here we are entertaining the idea that we might have another child, and that's like a whole other ball game. It's a whole other set of relationship. It's a whole other set of acceptance, right? It's a whole other set of milestones, achievements, success, co-parenting. And for the record, and I'm going to close Double or Nothing out with this before we go into the third segment, okay? For all of you who think that because married is the right way to go, and I hear you 100%, I do. It was never my goal to get married, to get divorced, but I will say this. All of y'all are co-parenting. Y'all co-parents when you're mad at each other and you don't want to speak to one another. You still got a parent. Y'all co-parent when one of you works 14, 15, 16-hour shifts and the other one is at home and you feel like a single parent, but you're not. All of it is co-parenting. The real foundation of
That's
it
true.
to the home you're building is the co-parenting. It's not your marriage. I'm sorry. It's a rude awakening for a lot of people because the day that you break up, God forbid, if that's not what you want, and the day you're divorced, you don't stop being parents. You will forever be parents to those children that you procreated. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I heard you. I felt you, Barbie, because I do feel like there's still so much of a stigma around this whole blended family that a lot of people don't understand.
I know.
There is, honestly. And some of us are just trying to live. Some of us are just trying to date for a little bit and fall in love again, right? And it's pretty hard out there. It's pretty hard out there to be accepted as who we are with our experiences, with our children. It's really hard to be accepted without being looked at as, oh, you make too much, you're going to want too much, or do I have to save you? Do I have to be here? It's like this judgment is always there.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted to highlight here. It's like the damned if we do, damned if we don't type of shit, you know? And it doesn't have to be that way. It's okay to give each other that grace as men and women. It's okay to be able to look at each other for our true worth and our true selves and not be judgmental on that. All right, we're going to go into the third segment, which is the overdose. And during this segment, usually we either share something that we are overjoyed with or we are completely over it. And so I have, I know, right? Who does this? I have a raw rant, but before I do go, I wanted to know if you guys have anything you guys want to go off on or you want to share your overjoyed with. Share the news, guys. Anything at all.
Let's see. I'm overjoyed with turning 35 because I remember turning 30. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. And I just wasn't with it. Like, I was really sad. But honestly, I feel like being in your 30s, it's like, for the most part, you have most of your shit together or you're getting there, you know? And I just feel like my most confident, my most sexy. Like, I just love it. Like, I've been enjoying it. So I look forward to this like new year in my life and continuing on my journey in my 30s. And like, you know, whoever's turning 30 or like they're in the beginning of it, like, don't be afraid. Like, it's gonna be great, you know, just embrace it.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh, I like that. And happy birthday to Virginia. By the time you guys hear this, her birthday is in full effect. Is it birthday week or birthday month that you celebrate?
You know what? Usually I'm such a birthday freak, but this year I've been pretty chill. Okay. Like, I don't really have too many plans, and that's okay.
I feel you. Barbie, do we have a moment of overjoyment or over it?
Oh, I'm overjoyed with my oldest. Like, I'm trying to get her pumped for the festivities. I'm like, yo, you're going to be able to go to prom. There's no COVID blocking it.
I know. I know.
You know, I was obviously ecstatic. I'm still ecstatic over her pictures because she surprised me.
Seen your pictures.
And I bawled my eyes out. Oh my
God.
So it's like, it's crazy to me because I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be 18. She's
you
graduating.
Don't even look like you have an 18.
You don't. Okay, can we just put that shit out there? You don't at all.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you. I know lots of people get shocked when I say I have 3 kids and then they ask all their ages and they get to the point where, wait, what? You have an 18-year-old? I'm like, yes. So, because I had her 18 going on 19. So I'm like, yes, no baby.
Yes. Heard you.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I'm like, yes. And, you know, now she's graduating and I get to see that for myself. You know, like, I'm like, wow. Like, I'm going to, like, probably cry the whole damn day.
You cry for Encanto, you're gonna cry for that.
First of all, Encanto was the bomb.
Know,
I know. I watch it by myself. I don't even watch them. I'll be like there by myself, like watching and singing all the songs.
prom, I'm still trying to get her to look at
Okay.
dresses, and I'm like, are you gonna go?
Yeah, because you
Are
don't want her
not
to like
gonna
regret
go?
missing out on it.
I
you
really
know?
don't, but I'm not one of those people like, oh my god, you got to, you got to, you got to, like, I'm like, ugh,
I hope she
are you
does
gonna look at dresses
though.
or not? Like I really hope
know.
she does, and it's just a moment that I don't think I ever thought, because I remember when I was younger, I was like, I don't want kids. I love kids, but I didn't want kids because of how I knew how the world works already at a young age. And I was like, if something happens to one of my kids, I'm going to jail.
Right.
Like, did I think I was going to have 2 more kids? No, I did not. Like,
They're so cute, though.
but, it's something new, and being a mom definitely put my eyes into perspective, and it made me learn a lot about myself. And it's like, the overjoyment is going to be pretty messy for me.
This is a milestone. That's a milestone right there.
Yeah, it goes
In
with
that
the-
number
yeah.
18, that's a huge milestone. In that number 35, that's a huge milestone. These are
And 100.
and right,
100.
and 100.
Huge.
It's huge achievements, and that's really what it's about. Like, yes, the numbers don't mean everything, but some of them do represent something, and it's so
Yeah.
crazy, right? Everything we've been able to reflect on just by a good set of numbers. It's crazy.
We should play the
We
lotto with
should.
those
Oh,
numbers,
yeah, we
right?
should.
We should. If we make millions, though, y'all still gonna get the podcast episodes, but
Of course.
we'll just
yes,
be with more
definitely.
zeros in our bank accounts.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it'll be a little harder for y'all, some of y'all to date us. I'm just saying. No, but congratulations, honestly. Again, happy birthday to Virginia, and congratulations to your daughter.
Thank
I
you.
hope she does go for her prom.
Thank you.
Because
I
I know for a lot of
know.
people it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you think about the people who couldn't make it, who couldn't have that milestone and that memory in that moment because of the pandemic, you're right. You wouldn't want for her to ever regret it, not going for it, right?
Mhm.
Because some people had no choice. They just couldn't. They had
Yeah.
to do virtual graduations. And that bombed for some people. They were so excited for that, right? And they couldn't have it for what it was. So yeah.
Yeah.
I have a raw rant, and it's gonna be a quick rant, okay?
let's
I
hear
just need
it.
to get this off my chest. I've been on some overjoyment shit. I have, but every so often I got some shit to say. And so, ladies and gentlemen, but mostly my ladies, okay? It's getting a little warmer out here, and some of y'all are strutting your stuff, and I'm all for it. I am, truly am. I happened to see some ladies in recent weeks, where it was a little warm out here in New York City streets, wearing some very beautiful sets of shorts. And I mean beautiful. They were beautiful. Some of them were white. They were a little cream color. They were. And some of them were wearing them with red underwears. Yes. And so, this may seem like something very minimal, but it's not, okay? I just want to put this out there. I'm all for women exercising their right to show off whatever they want to show off. Do it.
Of course.
Strut all
yeah.
your stuff. If you got a body on you, you're proud of your body. If you feel confident in your skin, do so. But please do so aesthetically with the right coordination, because for me, I need to say this, okay? For me, I'm all for the thongs too, girl. Wear the thongs. Wear the thongs.
Yeah, I love thongs.
Ain't nobody gonna see it, but especially when it's the color white. And I say that because I do have a little creamish, whitish outfit there that I'm gonna dare to put on, and I'm gonna dare to do it in the spring, right?
But you wear the right undergarments
But you
with
wear,
it.
or
like-
hello, fuck a bra. Just fuck it. Just go for
Yeah.
it. Like, it's okay. And I want to put this out there because if it's a little bit of a moment of, oh, I gotta wear something under because if somebody sees me or says some shit, fuck what people say.
Mhm.
Fuck what people think. Do what you gotta do for yourself to feel comfortable in your skin. Wear what you want, but also wear it very aesthetically and cautiously, because somewhere out there will be an asshole who's going to see you and who's gonna pull out a fucking phone, who's gonna take pictures and make you go fucking viral. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I saw exactly that happen, and it pissed me the fuck off. And I hated it because there is never a day that I don't see that there's at least one person who's gonna want to shame a woman one way or
I hate
another.
that.
And so that's really where I come from with this. Like, fuck what people think, but also don't give people a reason to want to use you for their viral views. Don't let them, do what you got to do for yourself. Do it happily, do it confidently, but don't give these motherfuckers out here a reason to make you go viral. That's my rant. because there's always someone out there. And I had to let that one out. I had to get that one off my chest.
I feel you.
All right.
That's how you got to do the check. You look in the mirror,
just
make sure you're
pose it
good.
up.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend who reviews all my pictures. Shout out to my friend. He knows who he is. He's very privileged. It is a he. He's very privileged. He gets a lot of these pictures before any y'all motherfuckers get them. And
that's so funny.
You know, because I need the male perspective. I want the approval, right?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. No, he gives good feedback too, guys. I'm just saying. But this is exactly why I have this, because I need to make sure, like, I like to dig into the male mind. So what is a man thinking in this when I look like this? And not because I need the approval, but because of the fact that there's always going to be that one person who's going to try and make it a fuckery out of the whole situation. And that's why, because unfortunately we do live in a society where as much as I don't give a fuck what people have to say, I still have to protect myself.
No, I feel you. I'd be like checking, like, do you see my
the
nipples?
whole thing,
like,
the whole thing.
Like,
and it sucks that we even live in that, but it's a reality that we do live in. And so that's my raw rant. For those of you who agree, great. For those of you who don't, slide into the DM, send me an email, let me know your thoughts. And we have come to the end of the show. Yeah, I am so excited you guys are here. Do you guys want to let my listeners know where they can find you and go support you guys and listen to the podcast?
You can follow the podcast at the MILF Club Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. We're on YouTube as well. Let me see. And you can listen to the podcast on any podcasting platform. If you want to follow me, I'm at Lovely Virginia on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And I'm on Instagram as at Barbie Legit.
Too legit.
Hey! And ladies and gentlemen,
thank you for having
oh my God,
us.
I am so happy you guys are here. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know everything is in the show notes. Always, it's a quick click to the links. Go follow their pages. Go follow their podcast support. I mean, what else do you have to do? If you're already here listening to this, just go to the show notes, click it, and then
go follow another podcast.
It's that simple.
Add another one to your rotation.
Right, that's right. I am so grateful once again. You ladies have joined me on this moment with me. I'm excited. I'm excited that this conversation happened, and that I was able to share with you guys. And from the bottom of Double Dose of Raw Talk, Scorpio heart, we are here supporting you guys, and we cannot wait to see you guys reach that 100 as well. We know the hustle's real and it's going to keep going, and we're excited to see where podcasting looks for you two together as a team and as MILFs.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And as always, guys, this has been another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Misty, and you guys will tune in next week. Bye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And we are live on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Make sure to tell a friend, to subscribe, rate, and review. Talk to you later. Bye.